Yo, it's Mick Jenkins here, straight from the south side of Chicago. You're watching First Times with Fader. My first time actually watching Def Poetry Jam, I ended up, up all night. Just like, I probably might have watched more than half of all the episodes in one night just because I was so enthralled with what I was discovering. I had to be like 15, it's probably my sophomore year in high school, looking up Def comedy stuff on YouTube, and it was on the side, Actually, the guy I was reading poetry, Poetri, his poetry is funny though, and I think that's why it was in the queue next to Def Comedy Jam, and yeah, I just kept going from there. I saw that Erykah Badu had one and Kanye West had one, and I just kept going and kept going and kept going for hours. Black Ice is somebody that really stuck with me from that sect of poetry.
Pseudo-elated, coke game created, crime-related manhood got you ass out, nigga. Getting high till you pass out, nigga. Quick way up, fast way out, nigga. How you figure? Your shit is bigger.
Existing in this space where all of these people are contributing to the vibe and, what is a good night, hearing words, right? But they all write so different, and it's so creative, and it's so colorful, It got me really fired up about writing like that. That was my first introduction to poetry like that. I shared my first car with my cousin. One of my mom's cousins had a white Honda Civic, 98. Two-door coupe. She's like, I'll sell you that for $500. I was like, what? That's nothing. Like, I'm, again, junior in high school, two young men sharing a car, you would think it would go a lot worse, but it actually went pretty well. Terrible car. It was just old. That's why she sold it for $500. There was a point in time for about 3 weeks when I was riding around with jugs of coolant in the back, and I would have to pull over, refill the coolant because the radiator was fucked up, and then get to where I was going. Like, hopefully it didn't get too hot before I got there, or I had to pull over and put some more coolant in and take off again. So then Jordan tried to, he spray painted the interior white. I don't understand. I really don't understand why spray paint. What? He got halfway through the dashboard and realized it was a terrible idea, but at that point there was already spray paint all over the dashboard. It was just, shortly after that, the car broke all the way down. That whole thing, that was like 8 months. For $500, that's a good time. Drawing was probably the first thing that I really loved to do. A lot of people don't know that. That's what I was doing before anything else. Maybe from like 6, 7 years old, I was always drawing. I draw pretty well. I just haven't been doing it as much since I started writing. Man, that was like what I did all the time. I love to draw. I just knew I was gonna be an architect or some kind of artist. Like in class, they would always try to get us to draw like still life or like a setting, a scene. Like I wanted to draw people. Like I wanted it to look like, oh wow, you did that. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to something from my imagination that you just have to like have an opinion on. I wanted to be able to see how well I did something as opposed to like creating some shit from my imagination. And I think that was just because I was just getting started and I wanted to see how good I was at doing what I was trying to do. Flipped it on his head now, I'm just like, yeah, I would much rather prefer it to be as good as I want it to be. Even if I were to start drawing now, that would be the mission, is to like figure out what style I'm gonna do this in, like for me, as opposed to just imitating something that's already there. The first time I had like big money from rap was the end of my first tour. I wasn't spending any money on the tour, so at the end of my first tour, and we were getting everything in cash. I'm telling you, the cash just makes it look crazier because whatever amount of money you have, if you have a lot of money in cash, it's gonna look wild. It was only like $15,000. I was like, oh my gosh. It was a somber moment, I was sitting there with my manager and I can only think that he's thinking like, damn, what the fuck is he about to do with all of that? You know what I'm saying? Because his percentage is just so much smaller, I gave my manager like 2 more than he deserved, you feel me? Like just cause, like we just did this together, you feel me, for the first time. We have been through a lot. My manager's really one of my best friends, so it ain't no thing for me, like extra 2 racks, whatever, you've done a lot more than that. I hit him with that, he got teary-eyed, I got teary-eyed. It was just like, it was a crazy moment for us, like coming from everything we had been through. So, like I said, it's like 15 racks, but like, it was a different time, dog. It's a different time.